Welcome back to the second segment of the show for today. We're talking to Mr. KCaldwell and Ms. CNaito2, both members of an organization that is called the Nashville Movement, an organization that is concerned with poverty and people who have been shut out of society. And of course, that, Mr. Caldwell, that might not be the official name for the organization, but I'm sure that that will sort of capture what the two of you try to represent here today. Let's have you, Mr. Caldwell, to continue our conversation in reference to bringing this organization together and what you wish to achieve. And then, of course, Ms. CNaito will give us some additional information.
Okay, we have 4 organizations that this coalition is comprised of. Is the Nashville Homeless Power Project, Tennessee Jobs with Justice, Tennessee Immigrant and Refugee Rights Coalition, and the Urban Epicenters, the organization that we've created. So we talked to the original founders of the Nashville Movement, Brother Kwame Lillard, Matthew Walker, Reverend Jim Lawson, about, you know, taking on this name and this to be a continuation of what really began in Nashville and was really just ignited the nation with the sit-ins and things. And we understand that people often draw a false separation between moral justice and economic justice. And one cannot be fully realized until they both are realized. So we're working with the lowest paid workers, people, as you stated, that's been kicked to the margins of society, to help for that voice to be heard.
Now, you mentioned earlier, Ms. CNaito, that you were concerned with the immigrant and refugee population. Give us some idea in terms of some of the challenges faced by some of these individuals.
Well, right now there's about 65 bills in the legislature that have been proposed, and many of these bills would affect not only the lives of immigrants but of many communities, especially minorities, poor people, and those that are usually underrepresented. Many of these bills would deny public services to people that don't have documents, and the truth is the ones that are affected are not only undocumented people, but also poor people that are less likely to have their documents, or citizen children that maybe their parents won't take them to receive some of those services. And then we also have others that would make employers become almost like immigration agents and put a burden on them, which shouldn't be happening right now. So those are some of the main issues. We also have seen the many raids that have been going on, economies and families being just affected by all these. So it's just making the situation really hard for people to live.
Well, how widespread is this organization? I know you were talking about Tennessee Immigrant and Refugee Coalition, etc. Are you all over Tennessee, and what kind of support are you getting in terms of this organization? Yeah,
we work in all Tennessee. We have organizers in the Middle, East, and West Tennessee. Our main office is here in Nashville, but we work throughout the state, and we also work at a national level, because the truth is that a real solution is at the federal level, and there's been a lot of burden on local economies or on employers. So we definitely work not only at the state level, but the national level as well.
And so this is one of the organizations, as well as several other organizations, that all of you think you can bring together. Mr. Caldwell, speak to that.
Yeah, we know that there are forces that would love to see black and brown people splintered, to keep us fighting for crumbs that are falling from the table, and never challenging the structures that when we fight each other remain firmly intact, namely white supremacy and people that who have traditionally held power, that they can remain in power. So we understand that this is everybody's fight, and that it manifests in labor most prevalently, because it doesn't matter about health care. If you can't access it, any service or good, if we don't have the wherewithal or the money to access it, it's not doing us any good.
And so there's a real push on to try to bring this organization together. Is this the first opportunity you've had in terms of trying to present this organization to the entire community?
Well, we've worked together in other issues, but this is our chance to really work together and see those connections. As I said before, there's so many things that affect not just one community, but all communities. And this is our chance to really work hard to represent the working class, those workers that are usually in the shadows, to make sure that everybody has a decent life, safe working conditions, and that there's racial justice.
Very good. And of course, I think you mentioned, Ms. Caldwell, that you participated in the GINA 6
That's correct.
Activity. Why don't you say something in reference to that, what that meant in terms of your movement?
Yeah, so that really let us know that on the ground, grassroots, that we had very little infrastructure. We want to create a resistance, a sustained structure that when all these laws and bills come down the pipe, that we have something that we can resist against. We want a participatory democracy where all people are involved that have a voice and can make decisions. We don't want the citizens' job to end once they pull that lever. We want to hold politicians accountable. We want, after every vote, we want to be a city council and show who we are as just people en masse on the Hill when we have legislators that vote against our interests, and to make them accountable in district and on the state level.
And so this experience that you had dealing with the GINA 6 kind of thing, that was a very, very
That was
positive.
amazing experience, and we got an entire generation of people who did not know movement involved in movement. As I stated, we had Dr. Jim Lawson to come in and do nonviolence training. We were in GINA. Those numbers I've heard, 20 and 30,000, there was at least 60,000 people there. And it was almost like, Catalina was there also, like a religious experience in terms of how people treated each other, the synergy. The town closed down, didn't want us there, didn't put enough porta-johns, a lot of structural things to maybe cause a lot of confusion. There were people there with plastic bags from supermarkets picking up paper that they did not throw down, just to make sure that we showed the love that of who we are in that. It was beautiful.
Okay, the last minute that we have here, Ms. CNaito, let's see if we can get from you what you'd like to see. And I think we also need to say something about the center that you'd like to have here in town. Why don't you speak to that?
Well, with the Nashville movement, we would like to have a worker center. We want to have all the voice of workers heard. And we also want to make sure that Tennessee is a welcoming place for all people. And that's what Tennesseans are really all about.
Dr. Haynes, we want poor whites, we want black folks, we want immigrants, we want everyone represented at this table that has been left out.
Very good. And of course, let me thank the two of you for coming by, because during this last segment, we will have two other members from this Nashville movement. But in the meantime, I'd like to simply thank the two of you for bringing us the information that you have already given us. And let me encourage our audience to tune in again for this last segment following this very, very short commercial break.